you've identified your lane, you identified your niche market. So how do you build that particular content that resonates deeply with that audience? And how do you establish yourself to become a thought leader in that? Any case
Yeah,
studies over there?
I appreciate that. I think we've all heard that there's riches and niches.
Yeah.
And so I think being able to really narrow your focus down, and I primarily service cybersecurity. And I was at RSA earlier this year, and you walked through the vast booths, 600 booths, and the message was all the same. And in that particular space, security is table stakes. So how are you going to make it different? And an example of I was talking to a prospect actually, and their particular niche is working with high net worth individuals and celebrities because these folks are high profile individuals that are big targets for having their identities stolen, for having working with somebody from a security perspective. And so here's somebody who's able, a company that's able to really dial in on a very small sliver, but it's an important sliver for those particular people. If you're a billionaire and your name is out there, even if you're a multimillionaire, you are at a high risk. If you're LeBron James, you are at high risk for security breaches because your information is out there. Everybody knows your birthday. They know where you were born. They know your kids' last names, all of that. So I think it's important to dial into what that niche is. And I think Drift has an early stage story of that as well. When Drift came out, they dialed in on the chatbots. There are tons of marketing automation tools out there. Obviously, nowadays, Drift is a more mature company, but they knew where their niche was and how to leverage that particular. And I'll go back to Said's comment. They knew what the problem was, and they knew how to. They weren't pitching a speed and a feed, and they weren't pitching something that their product development manager thought was really interesting to the how, or the sausage making, as we all say in the marketing organizations, but it was really how are they solving the problem. So I think assuming you've got your strategy, as Tim mentioned, in your plan, and you've got that message, is really dial into what's solving the problem. And to what Chris said, hitting him in the face with that right away, that's your position of market dominance. And then whether you're using humor, or I don't like to use fear, but humor or urgency or whatever it happens to be, just kind of getting in there quick, because we all know that this is a space that is very brief on attention spans. So if you can get in front of them quickly, but I think really dialing in, you cannot be a one in a million. You can't be a million of a million. You need to be that one in a million, and how you're going to communicate that.